Donald Trump has overcome all odds and emerged victorious in the 2016 election as America's next president. Despite a confident campaign from the Democratic Party, the Republicans will now control the presidency and both chambers of Congress. The result is a disaster for liberal Americans, who over the next few months will be forced to analyze their failures and question the future course of the Democratic Party. Immediately after the election results, numerous theories appeared to explain how the Democrats could have possibly lost after what the media and polls suggested would be an easy win for Clinton. Some of the most heated debates surrounded Bernie Sanders and accusations of favoritism towards Hillary Clinton for the Democratic nomination. According to the Huffington Post pollster, the favorability score of Sanders heavily outperformed that of Clinton, with Sanders consistently claiming scores of positive double digits and Clinton commonly polling in the negative double digits. Despite Sanders' popularity, many voters believe that the primary was rigged to favor Clinton due to long-running machinations within the party as revealed by private DNC emails released by WikiLeaks. As an independent and outsider to the Democratic Party, as well as an outspoken critic of Wall Street and corporate greed, Senator Sanders represents the grassroots of American progressives. His defeat led to a major loss of enthusiasm from the progressive wing of Democratic voters, and though President Obama and Senator Sanders both joined in fully endorsing Secretary Clinton on her candidacy, voter turnout for Democrats was woefully lower than those of 2008 and 2012. Other common targets for blame were that of third-party candidates Gary Johnson of the Libertarian Party and Jill Stein of the Green Party. The 2016 election result in many ways mirrored that of the 2000 election between Al Gore and George Bush. In that election, Gore, the Democratic candidate, also lost the electoral vote while winning the popular vote, resulting in vilification of the Green Party's Ralph Nader as being a spoiler candidate for taking critical votes away from Gore and costing him the election. In 2016, third-party candidates once again proved to be a significant factor against two of the most unfavorable candidates in United States history, especially in crucial swing states like Florida, where their share of the vote, if gone Democrat, would have ensured a Clinton victory. However, critics of third parties can only speculate, as it is difficult to say if these voters would have chosen Secretary Clinton over Mr. Trump given no other option, and if they would have even voted at all. Regardless of third-party options, the voter share of working-class white Americans sharply declined for the Democrats, while Republicans remained consistent. A key region of declining manufacturing and industry which represents this demographic is known as the Rust Belt and contains the crucial swing states Pennsylvania and Ohio. In a stunning turn of voter sentiment, Clinton had lost both of these states, along with Michigan and Wisconsin, which had previously been seen as strongly blue. A major criticism of the Clinton campaign after the election is that they took these votes for granted, as reflected in the fact that Clinton had made no appearances in Wisconsin for the general election. According to Pew Research, white voters without college education had voted more in favor of the Republican Party in 2016 than they had in decades. This suggests a growing discontent among white Americans toward Democrat policies that they feel unproportionally benefits minorities and educated middle-class professionals. As the trend of globalization continues and the United States is exposed to more international trade and immigration, many working-class white Americans are simply feeling left behind by the rhetoric and policies of mainstream Democrats. So, how will the DNC respond to these obstacles? Well, within days of the election, debate over the next chair of the Democratic Party is already well underway, with Representative Keith Ellison coming out as the early favorite. Ellison is both endorsed by and was an early supporter of Senator Sanders in the primary election. As co-chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus and the first Muslim member of Congress, Ellison's popularity represents the shift towards the progressive wing within the Democratic Party as an attempt to alleviate growing popular discontent with the DNC establishment. Younger or more progressive presidential candidates are also expected to appear for the 2020 primaries. Senator Sanders has not yet ruled out his candidacy, but it is likely that there will be a new face of the Democratic Party come next election. Some emerging candidates are Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, a progressive and anti-establishment candidate in the same vein as Bernie Sanders, former Newark Mayor and Junior Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, and former Attorney General and Junior Senator-elect of California, Kamala Harris. With these potential candidates, Democrats will hope to emerge in 2020 with the same excitement and voter turnout as it did in the 2008 election with Barack Obama. Democrats will also look to regain ground with the white working class. Relying on minority and college-educated voters resulted in lost support from former manufacturing and industry strongholds, and signaled a need for re-evaluation of policies concerning the effects of globalization. By reversing her stance in opposing the Obama-supported TPP trade deal, Clinton had adopted caution towards free trade that reflected the overall popular sentiment in America, but it remains to be seen whether Democrats as a whole will continue this trend. As the reasons for the 2016 election result become clear, Democrats will need to take a hard look at their party and may find themselves facing extremely tough questions over the next 4 years. How they respond to the election loss now may just well determine their path to the White House in 2020. But that's just my 2 cents.